Have you seen Euphoria? I know everyone is talking about it, but did you know about what happened to Lottie Moss? Well, we're going to tell you everything we know and some other interesting Euphoria news and backlash the show has gotten because of drugs. This video does mention drug use, so please remember to reach out to the appropriate helplines if you are struggling with any form of addiction. There are people out there to help you. Now, let's get on with the video. First, let's talk about Lottie Moss and Rehab. Model Lottie Moss did check into Rehab and made reference to Euphoria to let her fans know that was what she did. She made a TikTok video at the beginning of the month and mouthed the words to Labyrinth's Mount Everest. She wrote on the top of the clip, "When everyone's glamorizing droog taking, but you're literally in rehab." She then put in the caption, "I think I took Euphoria too literally, you guys," with a disappointed emoji. She's being treated for a cocaine addiction, but we do not know how long she will be receiving inpatient treatment. No representative has come out to speak about what has happened, but her father, Peter Moss, told The Sun that his daughter is doing just fine. That's good. We want her to be just fine. The model has previously shared with fans that she struggles with anxiety and that she uses substances to self-medicate. In April 2020, she shared on her Instagram that she was feeling much happier after struggling a lot in the past few years with her anxiety and many other things. She basically wrote in an Instagram post that her struggles had caused her to act out of character. She realized that she was becoming a person that she didn't like, which is where the substance abuse started. On top of this, she began to neglect her mental and physical health. What also didn't help was that she had surrounded herself with people who were in a very similar mental state to her own. So she can now see that they were not helping her, but enabling her unhealthy lifestyle. She continued by saying that people should manifest good things because then those good things will come back to you. Also, she's hoping to be better for her friends and family, plus herself, and we hope she is too. Ultimately, she wants all of her fans to self-reflect on where they are in their life and where they want to be in the future. It's hard dealing with substance abuse, and we hope that Lottie does get the proper help she needs and will feel more in control with everything. Did you know that Lottie Moss was in rehab? How long do you think she's going to be in there for? Regardless, we hope she has a quick recovery. Next, we have Lottie Moss and controversy. Leading up to Lottie Moss being checked into rehab, she has had a lot of controversy being thrown her way. Last month, she ended up posting a teary video on social media after her content from her OnlyFans page was leaked. She ended up saying that a former friend of hers was an evil human being after they supposedly leaked her content and her phone number. Turns out, she received a concerned text from a fan who said, "He's telling the boys in the group chat to sub to your OnlyFans and leak the pictures to your mother's Instagram. That's really upsetting, and we can't believe that happened. Whenever anyone, famous or not, has their accounts leaked, it's upsetting and not right. I wonder if those people can get in major trouble for doing that. If they can, then do you think Lottie Moss will seek redemption? Do you think they should be punished when they leak someone's OnlyFans?" Also, before this, in December 2020, Moss was forced to apologize after posting a video where she said she was a COVID super spreader. She posted a video to her social media while out for dinner with her 4 friends, taking advantage of London's Tier 2 coronavirus restrictions at the time. When asked if she and her friends were risking spreading COVID because they were not wearing any masks or following social distance rules, one of her friends said, "We're super spreaders." Moss then said, "We're super spreading COVID." Obviously, she made an apology later on by saying, "I just wanted to come on here and say I am sorry for saying I was a super spreader." She then spoke about how someone on the live had shown up and said those words, so she just repeated them as a joke, but that she would never condone spreading a virus that is as serious as COVID. Additionally, she was out with 4 friends, and 3 of them live in the same household, so they were following government guidelines, especially since she lives alone and was allowed to have one support bubble of 4. Lottie understood that she had upset and offended many people, but she did apologize for her insensitive joke. She also said that she was still young and dumb and learning, so she does forget that she is a public figure during these unprecedented times. We can agree that this joke was not in good taste, but she did apologize, which was well received by many people. Either way, she's had a rough couple of months leading up to her being checked into a rehabilitation center. I can only wonder wonder if this all was playing on her mind and her anxiety. What do you think about these two controversies that happened? Do you think her apology for the COVID joke was good enough? Also, keep watching, because we have some Euphoria drama we want to talk to you about. Next, DARE is not a Euphoria fan. DARE stands for Drug Abuse Resistance Education, and it's a team that is going after Euphoria. If you haven't seen Euphoria, it's an HBO drama where the characters are regularly taking part in drugs and sex. Also, the teenagers in the show, who are played by adults, also dress like it's a fashion show, which is strange because I never dressed like that in high school. Well, DARE has said that Euphoria glorifies drug use, addiction, anonymous sex, violence, and other destructive behaviors. Company wants parents to teach their teenagers that this behavior is not good and can put many people at risk. Also, it says that the show should not be glorifying behaviors that are already so common and widespread across the world today, because we should be teaching our youth that this is not okay. Euphoria received 3 Emmys after its first season, but DARE thinks the show shouldn't be celebrated at all. It thinks that the show should see the potential negative consequences it is having on youth nowadays, who are already having to face these risks and mental health challenges. What do you think about what DARE has said about Euphoria? Does it glorify drug use and anonymous sex, or is it bringing awareness to the issue? So, what does Zendaya say? Now, when Zendaya speaks, we know a lot of people turn to listen. Well, after what DARE said about Euphoria, she decided to speak up. She basically said that DARE has completely missed the point of the show. Zendaya went on to talk about how Euphoria is not here to teach people how to live their lives or how they should be doing it. She actually hopes that it helps people feel less alone if they are going through certain experiences and if they are trapped within their own pain. She hopes that people feel like they are not the only ones going through or dealing with what they're going through. Well, like with everything, you can take away what you want to take away from any source of media. Euphoria is no different, and we think Zendaya knows that. People may feel less alone if they're watching the show, or they might be completely put off from doing these types of things. However, not everything turns out positive, and some people might think about recreating what is happening in the show. Except, people are going to choose to live their lives the way they want to live their lives. HBO does also put a warning at the beginning of every episode and always gives resources to help those who are struggling at the end of every episode. What do you think about what Zendaya said about DARE's comment? Do you think she's right? Are you on Zendaya's side? Lastly, Euphoria nudity makes fans uncomfortable. The last thing we're going to briefly talk about is how fans are noticing the nudity in the show. Euphoria is supposed to depict teenagers, so the idea of naked teenagers on the screen isn't nice at all. However, Sydney Sweeney told The Independent that she wanted to remain clothed in certain shirtless scenes, which is fair enough. You need to do what you feel is comfortable. However, Zendaya, who is an A-list star, has shown very little skin, which is leading some fans to think that there are power dynamics at play behind the scenes. What do you think about the idea of a power dynamic happening on the screen? Do you think Zendaya gets more of a say whether or not she gets to keep her clothes on compared to other members of the cast? Well, that's all we have to say about Euphoria and all of the controversy surrounding it. What do you think about what DARE and Zendaya have had to say? Let us know down below.